So before we start with the HR team, I have to remember why I'm here. Otherwise, people are complaining. I have created this business from 0 to 200 million revenues. I made an IPO at the Nasdaq, and after 19 years, I've decided to share all my journey and experience in order to support entrepreneurs on making the same or a bigger journey. Today we start with the HR team, and first of all, it's important to understand the framework I usually use when we analyze departments. I do describe the how a team evolved based on company size, and the size from 1 to 10, 10 to 100, 10, 500, 500,000 are purely arbitrary, but are useful to give you a high level 30,000 feet overview of what usually happens. So when you are very small, 110 employees, usually the focus is on recruiting and usually is not made by HR. You don't have an HR department, entrepreneurs and founder does. But then when you scale from 10 to 100 to recruiting, we add usually training. We have compliance training, but then we start while the team scale to start having, sales training and other kind of training. When you start getting bigger, 100, 500, you start focusing also in career planning. That means design career path, talent planning, compensation strategy. I mean, building a standard framework for compensation, bonus policy, etc., etc., and also internal communication. Because when you are 500 employees, you probably start realizing that it's difficult to communicate one to one, and the leadership need the tools to communicate, tools and process and rituals. And then when you are very big, you start having, the logic of employer branding, make your company attractive for new talents, and the role of HR business partner. HR business partner is a specialized HR team that partner with one of the company department. You can imagine HR business partner for sales, HR business partner for product, and so on and so on. Uh, Remember that also HR now is a highly complex business that deal with multi-geography and multi-generation. Multi-geography means also multicultural, multi-religion, different way to understand the problems and I mean cultural difference. And then multi-generation. I mean, it's not uncommon now that company have in the same company there are boomers and generation Z. So this is what HR have to deal with. And let's familiarize with some HR concept. First of all, talent retention. Those are all the strategies in place to retain employees, to not let them go to work somewhere else. Of course, this works best with employees that are performing. Talent attrition is a KPI that measure the number of people we lose. Employer branding are all the strategies put in place to make the company attractive to new candidates and also the actual employees. I mean, if the employee uh, know that we have in place some initiatives, maybe they are more happy. Skill mapping, map the competencies, and when there are skill gaps, we take actions to fill those gaps to employees. Talent acquisition is the recruiting phase, it's the department itself. Career planning, those are it's a formalization on how you can move internally to the organization. It's not only bottom up, like from contributor to manager, but can be from department to department, from support becoming a sales engineer. Compensation and benefits are all the activities put in place to compensate people, and it's not only base salary. And then there is the concept of employee engagement, which is an analysis that want to understand employee involvement and what are the challenges that they face inside the organization. Um, in the logic of employer branding, and also because it was the right thing to do, what we did early in the journey, probably 2017 in the United States, was to share the same um, maternity and paternity leave policy we have in Europe. In Europe is very generous. In America is a little bit more strict. And then we have extended this. And then we have created this campaign, Show Us Your Leave, that it was a great employer branding and also a good thing to do. Another element is equality, diversity, and inclusion. We do give voice to group of interest from LGBT class, Women Alliance, Green Ambassador, etc., etc., etc. And maybe also some little budget. It's important to give people the possibility to make other people aware on specific topic, but this should not become a political platform or an ideology platform inside the organization. Um, Another point is be open to everything. I mean, value comes from everyone, from people that are politically on the left, people that are politically on the right, different religion. And we have in place the shift holidays. That means that when it's Christmas and you celebrate Eid or whatever, you can choose to work in Christmas and not to work in Eid. And we celebrate every single religious and not only recurrence. Another element that is important in HR is mental health. Especially in the work from home era, you want to give your employees the possibility to have access to mental health support. And be sure that if it is available with a click, it's way easier to have access instead of going home and thinking if I have to engage a therapist or not. And be sure that this probably you will never know, but can save lives. So it's important that in the I mean when the companies start getting sizable, to start to put in place mental health initiatives in the organization. Um, this is my way of looking on on how people I like to hire. And first of all, the first question I ask myself is, would you stay in this with this person in 2 hours in an elevator? If the answer is no, do not hire those person. For sure, it should be a culture fit. That means that it should be aligned with the company culture and value. I give, especially to my reporting line and the reporting line of my reporting line, a lot of value on emphasis on loyalty, performance, and talent. For me, pragmatism, vision, creativity, leadership skills are key driver. About vision, I like the entrepreneurial mindset of vision. And for example, one of my rules is that the best product manager usually are former entrepreneur, because entrepreneur is built by vision. Uh, Soft skills are important, and especially leadership skills. You need to be, if you want to have to make career and you want to manage a team, you need to be trusted by people. And then there is pragmatism. That means, for me, culture of execution, hard working, accountability instead of responsibility, proactivity instead of reactivity. And if I have to, make a summary on those concepts, for me is no bullshit, no long email, very little meetings or no meetings, no excuses. Last part is, when you hire someone, you have to look at a couple of things. First of all, there is the bias that if a person comes from a company that have a great success, this person is also the cause of this success, which is not true. There is no correlation between if you are coming from a great company, then you are a great employee. There are people that roam around the three great companies with three great logo, and then leverage for life the logo of this company to find another job, but maybe they've never had an impact in any company. And the second is the tenure. I mean, if you are someone that moved 6 months for each company for the past 2 years, or also 1 year, I mean, is this a person that will stay long with me? Can we build something together? Probably the answer is no. I believe that diversity in the company is very useful for the business because there are people that look at the specific business dynamics from different point of view. So you are not losing any perspective. That said, there are different ways to promote diversity. There you can impose specific quota for specific pool of diversity. Like in the executive team, you should have X people from this category, epsilon from another category, Z from another category. Or, and this is the method I really like, the method of hiring pool based effort that differently from imposing a number of people gives equal opportunity to everyone. How? You build a pool of candidates to recruit from that represent all the groups. So you have male, female, people of color, LGBTQ plus community, etc., etc., etc. But starting from there, the best win. Doesn't matter which category he represents. I really love this. The only element to take in account is beware of the biases. So let's touch a couple of HR topics that are common. One is, what is a peer group? A peer group is a set of companies mapped to see their compensation structure in terms of base, bonus, and equity component. This is very useful to compensate your executive team. And there is a table where you show all the competitor, what is the average compensation, and you decide how to position your compensation philosophy. Stay below the average, in the average, above the average, based on different criteria. The second concept is regrettable attrition. It's a KPI that you can map in the board slides and also in your BI system that shows how many employees you have lost that you regret. I mean, those are the rock star and they move it to another company. Why? Those we are sad. We are, we regret the loss of this person and this talent. And usually there is also an analysis, an exit interview on that. In the next chapter, we are going to touch performance review, which is very useful for many, many reasons.